Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. Welcome to Arrived Home's first ever product roadmap webinar. Before we kick things off, I want to give people a few moments to jump into the virtual room. Would love to hear where you all are tuning in from. I see Kara's tuning in from Denver, Neil, Maryville, Tennessee, Richmond, Houston, New Jersey, Florida, LA, Spokane in the house. Trevor, good to see you. I'm in Seattle. Savannah, Austin, coast to coast today. Absolutely phenomenal. We'll just give it a few more seconds here before we get started. A couple housekeeping notes. This is different than our traditional webinars that we run every Tuesday, Friday. So all the questions today will be primarily around product, what the roadmap looks like. If you do have any general arrived questions as a whole, we do have John Parrott, our investor relations manager, in the chat, as well as our VP of investments, Cameron Wu. We also have a whole host of Arrive folks that will be supporting and tuning in today to listen to your feedback as we are building for and by you. So also mentioned Tyler, who is a senior product manager at Arrived as well. So you're going to see quite a few Arrived folks in the chat today, but excited to get started. I'm seeing quite a few, the Woodlands, Texas, Boulder, one of my favorite spots, Zach. Good to see it. Well, I think we will go ahead and kick things off here. First and foremost, I would love to start with a brief intro for Alexa Nguyen, who's our head of product. So Alexa leads our product team here at Arrived and is responsible for creating a delightful investor experience that meets your all's needs. Previous to Arrived, she was product-led at Drift, where she helped grow their business from an idea to a $1.2 billion business and helped grow their product from 10 to 150 plus. Before that, she led growth marketing at Techstars Backed, influencer marketing platform that worked with companies like JetBlue, Oreo, American Eagle, and Gillette, so all the big players. During her time, she helped grow them from an early stage company at a six-figure business that recently got acquired. Alexa is also a first-generation Vietnamese immigrant that joined Arrive to help make access to real estate wealth more accessible for everybody. So Alexa, we are so thrilled to have you here today and also representing Arrived in the best way possible. And then again, my name is Corinne Headland, and I lead our investor relations team here at Arrived Homes. So I'm seeing some familiar names in the chat today. We are thrilled to have you all here. Alexa, I would love to invite you on the virtual stage so we can kick things off here.
Oh, am I coming in clearly?
Yes, Alexa, welcome. What are you?
Amazing. Hi.
What are you sipping on this morning or afternoon?
Ooh, I know. Yeah, it's lunchtime over here. I'm sipping on some seltzer water and some 4-hour-old coffee. So I don't wish that on anyone.
The combo.
Yes. All right. I also am seeing, oh yeah, yes, I would strongly recommend you unplugging your Alexas, please. This is the bane of my existence. Anyways, also seeing some familiar faces, names here in your little avatars. I hope everyone's doing well. Really excited to spend some time together today. So as Corinne mentioned, I'm our head of product that Arrived. And I wanted to kick us off with a little personal why I joined Arrived Homes. Aside from our amazing founders and team, the story of why I got here is pretty personal. And so I wanted to kick us off with a picture of my family. As you can see, this is my younger brother here, my mom and dad. And as Corinne mentioned, I'm first generation American. Both of my parents came over to the States by boat during the Vietnam War when they were around 15. When my dad first started his life here in America, he wore jeans from a Red Cross donation box with a rope tied around them to keep their jeans up. And so we did not start our family here with any generational wealth. But in one generation, I've been able to watch my parents create financial independence and freedom for themselves by investing in real estate. And they're both partially retired now. When I'm working hard on Wednesdays or Fridays, my dad's calling me, asking me if I want to come out fishing with him. And that's really the type of freedom and joy I believe everyone should have access to. The freedom to choose how you spend your time, who you spend it with. So I'm lucky enough to have my dad to ask and bombard questions with and build my own confidence as I start to find and invest in my own real estate deals. But I know not everyone is lucky to have that. And that is why I'm here at Arrived, to help create that access and confidence for all of you. And so with that, here is how I envision today going. As we move into our planning for 2023, I wanted to make sure that we are doing all of you, our investors, justice in building the right things. So for today, we'll do a quick intro on how we build products at Arrived, quick run through on where we get our feedback from, how we decide what features to build, take you through our vision, and then take you through the next 6 months. And my goal is for this to be super collaborative. So I've got the chat going on. Justin, mobile app is coming out soon. If you send me an email to alexa@arrive.com, we'll get you involved in the beta test. And yeah, just like that, hoping to keep it as interactive as possible. So quick start on how we build Arrived products. All of our ideas and everything that gets prioritized in our roadmap comes from you. We have 3 or 4 main sources of feedback: phone and Zoom calls, which you can schedule at any time with anyone on our team. That includes outside of product, anyone on our leadership team. Live chat, which you can always find on our website. Surveys that we often send out via email or chat, and then real-time discussions and webinar polls, which we are really hoping to take advantage of today. So with that, this is our vision for our Arrived product and our North Star. Our goal is to be your personal real estate investment team, giving you access to the best deals whenever you want them, whatever type you're interested in, whether a specific market or investment type, and then for however much you want to invest. That's really important to us and important to our mission, that anyone can invest as low as $100 or more. So with that, Corinne is going to drop a quick poll. I'd love to hear from everyone in the room, which of these 4 factors is the most important to you? Awesome. And we've got a number of people in product keeping an eye on the poll here. So excited to chat through that after the webinar. Seeing a lot of diversity in investment type. Are there anything that we have not been offering yet that you guys are really bullish on, whether it's market or specific investment products? We did just come out, Patrick, with short-term rentals. We should have some coming soon for you in the next week or 2. Awesome. Ooh, Neil, storage units coming in hot. For somebody who I saw asking how we expect to keep up with this rapidly moving chat, we will be exporting all of these answers and doing our analysis on them. If there's any of you who would be open to going deeper and having a one-on-one chat, please feel free to send me an email. We'd love to spend some more time with you and as we go into our roadmap for next year. Perfect. Okay, so for the next 6 months, here is where we will be focused. We're focused on 2 core themes. One, we want to make sure every investor understands how Arrived works. And then we want to create the most delightful 30-day post-investment experience you can possibly think of. And what I'd love to spend the majority of the rest of our time here today is learning from you all what we can do to make that a reality for all of us. Yes, Jeff, we will be testing video walkthroughs shortly. So keep an eye out on the site for that. All right. So on this first theme of how Arrived works, no matter who you are, what size investment you've made, or how recently you've heard about Arrived, we take our responsibility to you very seriously. And our goal over the next 6 months is to bring more transparency into how we work so that you know your investments are in good hands. So on this note, we believe there are a few things that make Arrive stand out. The first is we were the first company to offer SEC-backed single-family home rental homes. And so we've been doing this for almost 2 years. We have a tight process to ensure the utmost quality, and we really want to bring more transparency to that process so you can really understand how we're analyzing our deals, how many deals we go through before the very small few that make it to our website, and then also let you know what we're doing to take the best care of the homes you invest in and your money. Secondly, we have some of the best security engineers in the industry. We have true principal level engineers with deep expertise in financial services and security. We brought them in to work with us very early. And so we want to do a better job sharing with you all what we've done to keep your investments safe. Things like two-factor auth, email verification, and more. And then 3, we want to bring you along our journey more closely. We want you to know exactly what to expect once you've invested, be able to get updates that are as in the weeds or not in the homes that you've chosen to invest in. And here is where I'd like to pause. What am I missing in this list that you don't feel is clear enough or transparent enough today? What can we do to bring more transparency to how we work? Text messaging for new inventory is something that we are currently working on. If you would like to beta test it with us, send me a email, alexa@arrive.com, and I'd love to get you in early to try it out. Paul, updates on the condition. So are you saying once you invest in the home, you want to understand kind of the evolution of the rehab and getting it ready to rent? Can you kind of share a little bit more on specifics of the updates you're looking for? I think you and Sam are kind of on the same page there, so I'd love to understand more. Titus, we're working on monthly dividends as we speak, which we can talk through in just a sec. That's awesome. Rand, can you tell me a little bit more about the data that you are looking for specifically? Perfect. Okay, I think we're slowing down a little bit on those comments. There was one follow-up from Rand on additional data format. So let me know, Rand, what you're looking for. I'd love to chat more about it. Perfect. Saw you come through. Amazing. Okay. Yeah, this sounds great. Very much in line with what we're thinking of. Sweet. On the next theme for us, second big theme is the most delightful 30-day investment experience. So we really want to improve on what you can expect once you've invested, and a personalized investment experience. So we want to increase how quickly you're receiving dividends from us. So saw that shouted out in the chat a couple of times. And we want to also help you personalize your investment experience with Arrive. So invest in a way that's easiest for you. And here again is where I'd love to hear from you guys in the chat. If you could design the most personal investment experience that only works for you, what would you ask for? how can we make it easier for you personally to invest and surface investments you're most interested in? Like, yes, owners will be able to stay in them. We will be sending out more information on the Airbnb links and being able to see the fully designed and ready to rent homes. Anything else you'd like to see from us in terms of how we can make it easier for you guys to invest? Diana, are you thinking automatic deposits, or while you still maintain control over the homes that you choose to invest in? Or are you thinking, you choose the market and automatically and we automatically invest for you? What's your ideal state there? Love that. I'm curious, Zach, how long you've been investing with us. I have a theory that I'm testing out in the chat. We can talk more about it if you shoot me an email. Very cool. Okay. Do you want to see the individual homes before we deposit into that mixed portfolio? Like, do you want to sign off on them, or how are you thinking about it? Awesome. I thought so too. I like the plan for exit. That's a good one, Kevin. Seeing a lot of recommendations based on history. That's very cool. Love it. Okay, and then before we open it to a live Q&A, I'd love to hear from you all what we are not focused on that we should be. What have I not mentioned today that feels like a burning need or pain or frustration with investing with us today? Or that has prevented you all from getting started with us? If I'm talking to one of our hopefully soon investors, Zach. Seeing a lot of integrations alongside being able to compare Arrive to your other investments. Tax help. Very cool. Definitely working on expanding more inventory and diversifying. Yep. Amazing. Okay. Pipeline of coming soon. Yes, I love that. William, working on the frequent updates on dividends as we speak. We're hoping to move to monthly pretty soon. Is there anything else that you're looking for in terms of updates aside from the deposit into your account? Any other frequency or update types that you're looking for? Yes, Melissa, definitely fits within so Melissa shouted out clearer timelines when appreciation returns and rental income will hit your account. Definitely something we're thinking about making more clear. Thanks for joining, Eli. All right. On that note, I see Corinne popping back in. Take us over to Q&A.
Awesome. What an involved chat today. This is probably the most engaged audience we've ever had. So we're thrilled to have you all here. Let me remove these slides really quick before we keep going. Wonderful. Rex, I'm seeing a whole host of not only feedback, but some great questions as well. As Alexa went through, we take feedback in a myriad of different ways. The quickest we get is from our webinar that you're on today. So definitely appreciate the engagement with the polls as well as in the chat. Are you taking feedback on the website functionality? Frank, 110%. Alexa is the best person that you can have here. So Alexa, let's kick it off on the front side. I did see a few questions around the mobile app. I think what would be helpful for our audience is to kind of walk through what this process looks like today, and perhaps what the team prioritizes before it's rolled out, just for those on the line, because I know that's a mode that people are very excited about accessing Arrived on.
Yeah, 100%. So we are working on the mobile app as we speak. Timeline is pretty soon. We would love to have more beta testers. So the way we like to build product is, like Corinne always says, for and by you. So we would love to have a small group of customers that we work really closely with, probably a little bit more bug tolerant for early software releases, but I think it was Frank's question before around feedback, like this is how we get the most up-to-date and realistic feedback, is working as closely with you as we can. So anyone who would like to join the beta group for our mobile app, please shoot me an email. And I have an ongoing list. If I've talked to you before, you're on the list, but please shoot it over to me and would love to get something in your hand soon.
Yeah, y'all heard it here first. So for the hundreds of you on the line, you have Alexa as a resource for the beta. It is alexa@arrivedhomes.com. I think she's dropping it in the chat as we speak for y'all to access. I did see a message in here from, and apologies if I say any names phonetically incorrect, Janaki. When will text messaging for a new inventory be available? So Rex, I think this is great to share because we've tested a few things in order to figure out the mode and way in which investors prefer communication. So maybe it would be helpful to walk through that and perhaps what we have coming down the pipeline as well.
Yeah. So excited to start moving into SMS. We have experimented a little bit with our vacation rental launch with the ability for you to select which home you want to be alerted about. That test was wildly successful. I know we've heard from a number of you that you would like to be added to an SMS list for when new properties launch. So we do have a beta live for that right now. If you want to send us your email, we will make sure that whenever our properties come out, we send you a text message about it. So again, alexa@arrive.com, shoot me your name and phone number and we'll get you on that list.
Definitely. There was mention of monthly dividends, and Alexa, I know we've had a lot of feedback around right now we have quarterly dividends that we pay out. We list those on our property page. But we've had folks say we want our dividends to kind of mirror what we would see as a property owner. So would love to hear your thoughts on that and what perhaps investors might be able to see in the future as well.
Yeah, we are definitely working our way towards a monthly dividend payment now. We know that it's important. We know it's important for that first 30-day experience, especially if you are newer to Arrived. My big question to you all would be, what do you want to do with the monthly dividend? I've heard sort of differing use cases. Are you looking for it to deposit more frequently into your connected bank account? Are you looking to reinvest that? I'd love to get a poll out, actually, if you guys wouldn't mind participating. What's the most common and frequent use case, or the deeper why behind your monthly dividend? Seeing a lot of reinvest.
Seeing some options here. I'm going to drop an actual poll, Alexa, so we can pull this in.
That
So
sounds great.
I'm seeing reinvestment. What else is popping in there?
I'm seeing reinvest, I'm seeing to bank account, and I'm seeing both. I don't know if I've seen anything else. Let's start with those three. I'm curious.
If there's any spelling and errors in there, no, I'm human and this is going fast. But let's drop that for you all. Wonderful. I love it. Both options, monthly income to bank account, options to reinvest in other properties with Arrived. Great feedback, Joseph.
And can I just say thank you again? 84% in engagement with our polls is insane. This is how we build the best product. So we really appreciate you guys being here and spending time with us.
Yeah, this is absolutely phenomenal. I did see one in here, Rex, from Tom. We've had this from a few other investors as well. Oh, and I said, Hannah just said, give back to renters. Interesting.
Oh, I love that idea.
Cool. That's phenomenal. Reinvest in bank account. Okay. What Tom mentions, what about downloading information to Quicken? I think we could talk a little bit, Alexa, more so around like integrations as well and what your thoughts are behind that, more specifically what your thoughts are on Quicken as well.
Yeah, we definitely see the need. We have started some early partnership conversations that would serve similar needs that you all are asking about. So on the likely medium to longer term horizon for us, it's really surrounding whether we can get to the right partnership agreement. I'd be curious what the most common integrations you guys are looking for are in this group. So I've seen Quicken, I've heard Mint, but it would be helpful to get a sense of the most popular and highest demanded integration. And we have a head of partnerships who could maybe plant some seeds in the right direction.
Wonderful. Yeah, I'm loving it. We're seeing CSV download, Mint.
Oh, interesting. So I'm seeing tax integrations too. We focus primarily on sort of understanding performance amongst your larger investment portfolio, less so on the tax one. So that's a new one for me. Thank you for sharing that.
And it's interesting on the CSV too. Obviously, we have information, Alexa, on what investors receive and on which properties. It'd be interesting to hear what would be beneficial to you in that CSV as well. Whether that, like what you're receiving quarterly from each property. Is it the leasing status, so on and so forth. Would love to hear more information on that as well. I'm going back through this list. Some great feedback in here, and I want to gauge your thoughts on this, Alexa. The ability to like or follow a property that's available and in the funding process. Let me know when it's at 50% funded. I missed who this was from, so if this is you, please let us know in the chat.
Yeah, I'd love to hear more about the desire behind this request. Is it you're hoping to jump in like right before it fully funds? How do you view that against the potential of it selling out before you're able to get in? Help me learn a little bit more.
It was Zach. I totally I missed Zach. So let us know, Zach, what you think. We're standing by for your info. There was another question in here, more so around like referrals and bonuses for new friends signed up, which I know is near and dear to your product heart.
Yeah, we have not started. I know you've heard a lot of betas shouted out for me today. We have not started a beta for this yet. We would like to run a test for this quarter. Alejandro, if you're on this webinar, you can hold me to it. But we are very excited. We know we have a highly excited and dedicated investor group, as you can see in this chat today. It's really fun to build with you guys. If you would like to be involved in our referral beta, I have committed personally to a referral test before the end of this quarter, which ends this year. So we would love to test with a few of you all and build this with you guys together as partners. So again, send me an email. We have a test that we'd like to run this quarter, and I'd love to ideate through some potential rewards with you all and see what feels the most meaningful.
Definitely. I will say too, our traditional Tuesday, Friday webinars are perfect for more of like Arrived 101. So you'll see quite a few resources dropped by John in the chat. Cameron's helping as well. But if we've missed any of your questions, feel free to email support@arrivedhomes.com. We're also available in that widget in the right-hand corner that has a little smiley face that you can live chat with us as well. So definitely an option in there. Great feedback from Zach and here, Alexa, around the just-in-time investing, which is interesting because we kind of have two personas for that, where we have investors that like to spend time and not be rushed in their investment, but also we do see that there's something to be said for a trending property. So and sellout. So Zach, thank you for the details there. Super helpful. I saw we also have Eli in here, our lead software engineer, which is awesome, taking feedback from you all. So we love to see our team in here. The pledge idea. Let me scroll up here from Greg. They said, funding is an issue for me. Recently, they're fully funded before I get, and I check multiple times. I've seen a couple sites do a pledge type of function where investors can express interest in funnel properties prior to actual funding.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts, Alexa?
Yeah, we have iterated on our investment experience quite a bit. If you've been with us for a long time, over a year, you know how different it is now than it was even a year ago. Our ideal state is that you can invest in the way that is most comfortable and convenient for you. I agree that our current sort of, full launch just in time is not the most customer friendly use case. And I really do believe that the company that creates the best customer investing experience, that's the least stressful, that helps drive the most confidence in us, will win in the future. So really the first step we want to take towards that, and that we're actively working on now, is helping you all see and get a better sense of what's in the pipeline and help you also contribute to that. So you'll see more from us on that front over the next coming months, but very much agree with the idea that we want to make it less stressful for you all. And it's not a project experience that should be gamified. So we're excited to keep building that with you all, and we take the feedback you send to us about this very seriously. So yeah, excited to keep improving it.
Yeah, definitely keep it coming. I'm seeing a lot of other mentions in the chat around a pooled fund versus individual investment. Definitely something thinking about. Love to see that come in here. I did see a few mentions too, Alexa, about cash accounts. And I know we've talked about this a lot internally. What are your thoughts on that, and perhaps what the team is prioritizing in this space?
Yes, cash accounts are coming. We are just starting to design out the experience from the technical side and from the user side. I'd love to hear the use case that is most important to you all from cash accounts. One I frequently heard is obviously dividend deposits into the cash account for a reinvest, which was related to the poll that we had shared earlier. Anything else that I'm missing on how and why you would like to use cash accounts? What else can we help prioritize on that front?
Definitely. I am also going to drop a poll here. We are working on different leasing statuses. So we would love to know one of the two, which one you prefer. What term do you prefer once you find out, once we find a resident for one of our long-term rentals? So I'm going to drop that in the chat. Would love to see you all engage. Our operations team is working on that in particular. I know that Tyler, also our senior PM, is going to be dropping some polls in here too, so keep an eye out as well. Chris, I saw that you had asked a question around future options for liquidity. I also saw quite a few other folks. So there's two things I kind of want to break out here. For our long-term rentals, we do have a 5 to 7 year hold home thesis. For our vacation rentals, it's between 5 to 15 years. Those are flexible and based off of a myriad of different criteria that Cameron Wu, our VP of Investments, and that team analyzes. So in short, it could sell before, it could sell after. The liquidity piece is different. So we do have a 6-month minimum hold period to date. We are currently working on approval from the SEC, where we'll have a more formal redemption program. So more to come in that space. We recognize that liquidity is important. Obviously, we recommend holding on to those investments because that's how real estate essentially works. But we're built on accessibility and want you to have access. So more to come on liquidity as a whole. We'll be sure to share. Alexa, any pieces I missed on liquidity?
No, I think you did a great job.
Wonderful. I saw one in here from Matthew. Will you always be offering new properties, or will you get into older Victorian, colonial, etc. homes, or bed and breakfasts or log cabins? I'm sure Cameron is drooling over that in the chat. That one's from Matthew. So I think Cameron will take that in short.
I'll let the expert step in on that one.
Right. I think that's a yes. We'd also love to hear like what asset classes you're interested in. Right now we are in long-term and vacation rentals, but if you would like to see vacant land, commercial, parking garages, glamping by national parks, like that's where I'm at. Storage facilities, Ian mentioned, wonderful to see. I saw one in here from Jeff. Interesting question. Thoughts on cohorting and prioritizing house releases to existing investors? Any guidance on this?
Can you repeat that? I was reading through some of the chats here.
It's perfect. I see your chats popping, so it's good to see. Jeff had mentioned right now, Alexa, we essentially like release all of our properties to everybody that's on our subscriber list. So what are thoughts around like cohorting and prioritizing house releases to existing investors?
Yeah, I think we're still figuring it out. The principles that we feel strongly about, this is tangential to Greg's comment a little while ago, is that all of our homes should be equitable, regardless of amount that you're willing or desire to invest in, regardless of how long you've been investing with us. With that said, as we increase the volume of investments we offer through the site, I'm sure there will be creative ways that we can make the experience better for anybody, but equitability is really the number one principle that we care about. So I would say that's why it's taking us so long to figure out the ideal experience for you all, is we want to do right by everybody and make sure that it's fair. And so that's why we've been taking baby steps over the last few months.
Definitely. I saw Dwayne mention, have you considered land acquisition for residential or commercial investment? I feel like I can literally see Cameron like sipping his LaCroix behind the scenes. So Cameron just said, you're reading my mind. So we love to see it. Keep it coming. We love the feedback. There was one in here from Justin. So it says, your competitors tell me quarterly how many investments I have done. Is that available? Alexa, first and foremost, we know there's a ton of other great investment platforms and ways to diversify your wealth. So I would love to see, obviously we distribute our dividends quarterly, but how our team is thinking about portraying this in the future, and then what mode. I know we walked through this briefly earlier, but I would love to see your expanded thoughts to share more light for Justin.
Yeah. So this is actually related to the poll. Tyler, shout out Tyler. She's on our product team. She put together the poll around your arrived portfolio. So we would love to hear more. It sounds like the question was around understanding sort of total volume across the last quarter. Anything else besides accumulated returns that you'd like to see? We've definitely heard a lot around current markets that you're invested in, or similarities between the current investments in your portfolio. in an attempt to make it easier for you to diversify. What else can we do that would be beneficial for you all?
Yeah, I love that. Justin mentioned understanding portfolio results. So like, what does it mean to me? Like these 5 were up 10% and how individual one did. I love this. Again, for that poll in there, it looks like we have 49% of folks that have answered that. We would love to see everybody else's responses. Also, I think Alexa too, that might be helpful is like the mode in which we envision sharing this. Is that like a CS download? Is that something sent out? I would love to see kind of what your thoughts are, and also for the chat, like how you would like to ingest that. Justin said dashboard, very quick.
Yeah. Yeah, I think what is the most fun about building with you all is that everyone has their own personal needs and preferences as an investor, and you've all kind of done it in your own way over time. So I really believe there is no ideal end state, that we need to meet you all where you prefer to be met. I would love to open up the question around dashboarding. I've heard you all, some of you prefer to see it in our platform, some of you prefer to see this data other places. Are there any other key touch points that we are missing or not considering?
Looks like it's coming through here. Serge, I thought I saw you answered one of the poll questions live that you'd like to see both. I was a miss on my side. I should have said.
Love it. Justin, I'd also love to understand, you had mentioned in the portfolio results, you saw that 5 of your properties were up 10%. And you'd love to understand how each individual one did. Can you help me break out in more detail, what is it about the 10% you'd like to understand more about?
Looks like Justin mentioned too, your platform, and make sure whatever we are measuring shows up on Mint, which I know is an integration and partnership, Alexa, that you had mentioned earlier as well. And we're seeing a few other flow in here. I saw quite a few questions. I know Juan had asked this around secondary market. So we recently talked about liquidity and what that looks like. We also foresee this coming down the pipeline as well, and part of the approval with the SEC. So more to come in that space as well. Justin gave us an example, like when you go to Fidelity, you get a quarterly report on performance.
Yes, Tyler is in the chat. We are very much thinking of iterating on our portfolio page. I like where your head is at, Justin. Please definitely feel free to add more color and in as much detail as you want, your ideal state for the portfolio page. I know she's listening closely.
Definitely. All the things today. I did see great feedback from Frank, and my wheels are already turning. Is it possible for Arrive to have a monthly webinar that gives updates on the progress of the product and the company roadmap? There's a lot of.
I will be here as often as you guys need.
They said there's an option. There's a lot of items being mentioned today, so it'd be nice to get regular updates. Great feedback, Frank. We are currently working on iterating on our webinars as a whole and what we offer. So we'll definitely take this offline as we are planning for the rest of Q4 and headed into 2023, which feels like it's right around the corner. So definitely appreciate it.
And I think this fits in with the overall theme on the product side too for the next 6 months of, you know, we've been around as a company for over a year. A lot of the work that we do can be hidden, but it's highly detailed. So how do we bring more transparency to that for our customers and our investors? Yeah, we're excited to keep iterating on that front with you all.
Definitely. I did see a mention of this, and it's near and dear to obviously Arrived in what we believe in. So Hurricane Ian, as you all know, took place last week. We did have properties that were in that path. What we did is worked closely with our property managers to ensure the resident safety is the number one priority, and then also shared tips and next steps for them as well, to make sure they were safe. The good news is that our tenants, our residents are safe, and there was no damage to those properties. However, I did see a mention in here, Rex, that I think is pretty phenomenal. It's from Chris. And they said, are there families in Florida that rent our homes that we could opt to give our dividends back in order to help them get back on their feet?
Yeah, I love that. We are always looking for new campaigns and ideas and ways to drive our mission home. So please always send us those ideas. I think that's a wonderful idea. I don't know if Jake, who is in the chat, might be able to help us out with that.
Yeah, it's great feedback, Chris. I know that we as a company are working on ways in which we could give back, and this is definitely one of them that we could potentially have in the future. So definitely appreciate it. More to come in that space.
Yeah. And social good is, one quick note on that. Social good is something that we take very seriously. We've made some large changes to hold ourselves accountable to doing social good. I won't blow the cover on that. I think I saw Brett, our head of content, in chat, but something very near and dear to our heart. And I've been floored to see our leadership team put their money where their mouths are and really show instead of tell that we are mission driven. So we're excited to share more with you all on that front.
Definitely. And I saw another poll flow in here. How would you like to use cash accounts? Automatic funding, but I picked the properties myself, or automatic investment, reinvestment of funds? 35% have answered that. This is a phenomenal poll that Tyler just dropped. Would love to see your feedback in here. Alexa, it's months ago now, but you had worked with a team to release filtering within the page. I would love to walk through kind of what this looked like end to end, and perhaps what you're thinking about in the future. Not necessarily end to end, but like why it came on the platform and the goal that it provided, for investors when they're searching for properties.
Yeah. First off, I do want to address, I saw a couple of comments about filters not saving as you navigate away from the page. So that's definitely on our mind. In terms of the problem that filters solve, it's very related to our North Star vision of making sure that we get the properties that you care about in front of you at the right time. So as we know, as we scale up the number of properties, it becomes increasingly difficult to find the properties that are right for you. And so the filters that we've released are the foundation that will help us get the right properties to the right people. And we take requests for new filters all the time. We want to keep building off of this. So I've heard additional filter requests and would love to hear more from you all. I've heard things like cap rate. I've heard things like more granular controls over the leverage percentage. Please keep sending these ideas to us. We definitely want to keep building off of these things so that it's as easy as possible to find what you're looking for.
Definitely. I saw Tiffany had mentioned set the filter according to my preferences and hold, which is very interesting.
Yes. Very related to that. Do you have a number of different preferences, Tiffany, or do you find that you're kind of going after the same set of property types every time?
I saw Luke had mentioned filters based on location would be great. So it looks like one in particular.
We do have markets in a drop down. So if you navigate to the top right of your screen, there's a little filters button that has location drop downs in it. I'm curious if you're looking for being able to combine multiple locations or maybe zoom higher or lower in the location kind of granularity that we're showing there.
Definitely. Alexa, I think we should show filtering live really quickly, just so folks on the line understand exactly what we're talking about. I know I'm a kinesthetic learner. And for anybody else on the line, if you mirror that, we will do that for you. So one moment here. All right. So we are referencing the filtering that Rex was going through right now. So this is what we have for the featured availability. But Alexa was talking about in particular all those different markets that you can click into really quickly. And I know a few people had mentioned being able to save this. So would love to hear, number one, like what you would love to save. And then perhaps if there's anything else that you would like to see in there as well, based off what Alexa had just mentioned. So we love a live view. Wonderful. Moving right through here, I see Brett, our head of brand and content, is in here as well. Multiple markets. Oh, Alexa, can you define what you mean by cash account? Michael had just mentioned this, and I realized we could take a step back so everybody's aligned. Oop, I think you're on mute. I think it was an AirPod, AirPod moment. Jeff, can you see? We're
always. And my Alexa is going off. So cash account is your ability to store funds on arrived. One of the primary benefits of doing that is so that you don't need to check with your tertiary bank account to make sure that the funds are there when you're making investments. We know a number of investors will run into errors where after they've purchased a home, there's been a bank error or insufficient funds. And so we want to make sure and increase the confidence that you're able to purchase the home that you care about when they drop. So cash accounts are your ability to store those funds on arrived. You can withdraw funds from your bank account and deposit them into an arrived cash account and hold it there until you're ready to purchase. And then we can also deposit dividends back into those cash accounts as well.
Definitely. And I saw Kevin had mentioned, are there any thoughts on the interest percentage for cash accounts?
Yes, something that we've definitely thought about, probably not in the next short term, 3 to 6 months, but certainly something that we have talked about internally.
Definitely. And I did see a few mentions on like new construction properties in our buy box. Our buy box does vary. We do have new construction homes within our portfolio to date. I will also mention we have more properties coming today. We do have that third baked in property coming soon. That won't be today, but keep an eye out for that. And also, like, if that's something you would like to see in the future, we would love to hear from you on that as well. I saw we also dropped a new poll in here. How well do you understand your arrived investment goals? Perfect. I know my goals and how to measure. I know my goals, but not how to measure it. And I don't know what my investment goals should be. Phenomenal. Alexa, can you walk through why that question might be important for us to understand?
Yeah, I think it's Tyler who dropped it.
From an Alexa Answers contributor that I translated. It means I don't have the right knowledge to help you, and I'm sorry.
Thank you.
Did that answer your question?
Yes. Note to self, unplug that next time. You're welcome. And thanks for your feedback too, everyone.
I'm Alexa.
Yeah. So the reason this question is important for us is we know we have a wide swath of investment experience within our investors who invest with Arrived. And so what we are learning more about is how to better serve that different segment of customers and what to provide and at what level of experience and granularity. So polls like this help us understand where to start and where we might need to simplify and invest more in educating around the right metrics and the right goals, or whether we can kind of start on the more experienced side without needing to explain and define everything.
Definitely. Rex, we had mentions of getting a Google Home in the future.
Yes, please.
Well,
thank you, Jeff. I did not know about Alexa Stop.
I know.
My mom has said that to me many times.
Yeah, it's funny because when we're in meetings too, if I'm downstairs and we're talking, Alexa goes off as well. But anyways, I did see feedback in here from Serge around not releasing properties on a Friday after 4. Great feedback for us as we move forward and we are releasing properties. A little bit of behind the scenes on those properties. Essentially, each goes through a mini IPO process with the SEC. So some of that is due to when we have to make those properties go live on our platform. That said, in terms of our communication and ownership there, definitely appreciate the feedback on that as well. I did see a mention from Jared in here. Any plans to raise additional company funds via Series A so us retail investors can invest in the company? This is a great question. As of today, you can only invest in properties available on our site. I know we've had, Alexa, a ton of feedback on investing in Arrived as a whole. So we will definitely share that with our team and more to come in that space. Just cruising through the chat here. I think we've hit on most of the questions that have come through that are product related. As mentioned, we do host our typical webinars on Tuesday, Friday. So we have one coming up with Cameron, Ryan, John will be in chat, Jake as well. But if there's any questions product related that we missed, we're definitely here for it. And I'm just peeking at the chat here to make sure we didn't miss anything. Alexa, do you see anything that we might have missed for everybody on the line?
One sec. No, I would say that I liked Ian's comment about ruthlessly prioritizing. And that is why we do these webinars with you all. You all help us stay focused on what the most important thing is. So just thank you again to everybody for spending time with us. Ian, I can tell you're a PM. Let me know if you are looking for a new role. We always have space on our team for superstars and people who are interested in the same mission. So hopefully your employer is not on this webinar as well, but thank you for the advice, Ian.
Wonderful. I know we've had some great feedback in here. We will be diligently sifting through this after the webinar. For everybody on the line, you will receive a copy of this in your email. If we missed any of your questions, you can always email us, support@arrivedhomes.com. You can find the widget in the bottom right-hand corner as well for live chat. As mentioned, we have some more properties coming on the platform today and more coming down the pipeline in the future. So absolutely phenomenal feedback and engagement today, and anywhere in the chat to polls. And Alexa, first and foremost, thank you for your time too, and giving a bird's eye view into what we're doing at Arrived.
My pleasure. Hope everyone has a great day.
Wonderful. Thank you all. And for our team in the chat, thanks for spending so much time today. And for everybody on the line, thank you for being so engaged. We will catch you this Friday, and keep an eye out for more webinars in the future. And we will talk to you all soon.
Thanks all.
Thanks all.